You're listening to Sister Stargazers, celestial and terrestrial observations and advice from two real-life sisters.
Welcome, fellow stargazers. Your sisters are in the house. Hi, Jude.
Hey, Sarah. Happy anniversary, Sister Stargazer.
Can you believe it? It hasn't felt like a year, but this is episode 52. We started last year, September of 2021. I think September 6th, I think, was our first.
After a kitchen conversation.
That's right. That's right. So thank you to everybody who's continued to listen in, giving us feedback, sending us emails. So here we are ending season 1, heading towards season 2, episode 52, which will cover Sunday, September 4th to Saturday, September 10th or thereabouts. As we know, everything influences a little before and a little after. So go for it. Where should we start?
Yeah, the moon is in Sagittarius for the first part of the week. So it's a really good moon. Well, it's actually just as of Sunday, it will begin in Sagittarius, the moon in Sagittarius. But then on Sunday the 4th, the moon will trine Venus. So the moon will be in late Sagittarius, will trine back to Venus in late Leo. And then the moon enters Capricorn. Mm-hmm. So that's a really kind of a nice signature to open the week. So to watch for beauty, to study beauty, to look at design, to look at patterns in nature. So it might be something, just a really cool segue as the next day, Venus enters Virgo.
Okay.
So Venus leaves Leo, enters Virgo, and it's a time to seek more meaning in your relationships with a practical basis.
Okay.
So you're looking to kind of build things with other people, kind of study things, and studying beauty, studying art, also deconstructing, having analytical conversations about anything at all. Oh. And it's also a good time to schedule a visit to a financial advisor.
Really? Venus, Virgo? Okay.
Yes, because Venus is money and Virgo is what to do with it, or how to plan, how to efficiently use your money.
Great tip.
So Venus in Virgo, that's on Monday. So the moon's in Capricorn, Venus is in Virgo. They're holding like a loose trine for the first bit of that Monday, both in earth signs. So that's a really nice practical start to the week.
Okay.
As the moon moves along on Tuesday the 6th, it conjuncts Pluto. So Pluto's at the end of Capricorn. So while the moon is moving through Capricorn, you may feel somewhat business-like. Okay. So there's a very business-like approach to this end of Labor Day in North America kind of holiday season, moving into like a practical on Tuesday the 6th, like really being like, getting down to business.
Yeah, summer's over, friends.
Moon conjunct Pluto. And also like having like very deep feelings maybe come to the surface because the moon will be, the moon's our feeling body and Pluto is hanging out in Capricorn. Yes. So there might be things that you feel that you now recognize as in this particular month. As the moon sweeps around, it now again is conjuncting Pluto in those late degrees of Capricorn. You might also notice as the moon does this every month, it does come back and conjuncts Pluto. You might notice what comes up for you as the moon moves through Capricorn and conjuncts Pluto. So it's just because Pluto is such a deep diving, subconscious, powerful guy, ruler of the underworld.
Yeah, what's underneath?
As the moon comes through, it can help make things conscious that Pluto was keeping unconscious.
Nice. Okay, great.
So the moon then transitions into Aquarius on Thursday and makes a conjunction with Saturn. Another heavy. Saturn is our reason, our discipline, our logic, our focus, our time, our sense of time. Yes. So the moon conjunct Saturn again in Aquarius is giving us a little bit of a view of a bigger picture. So we might think about, how are we structuring our time? What are we looking at in terms of ideas for the future? Maybe doing a bit of planning, kind of feeling out where you might want to go or try or study or even just think about, like, if you're doing some reading, like, how do these words, how do these ideas make you feel?
Okay.
On Friday the 9th, Mercury starts retrograde in Libra. So Mercury's in the first decan of Libra. That means within the first 10 degrees of Libra. So it's in early Libra. And then it stations retrograde. So it's really, even now as we're recording this, it's stationary in the sky.
Yep.
And so Mercury will begin its apparent retrograde motion in Libra. And this is so interesting. Gary Caton just published his studies of the retrograde motion and how we think about retrogrades is not just backing up, right? It's not like just a car going backward and then a car going forward or anything going backward and forward. There's this three-dimensional aspect to it.
Oh.
So not only does Mercury as a planet look like it's going backwards from Earth, but it also appears to go downward.
Oh, how neat.
So this is a new idea. These are some new ideas about the retrogrades and how if Mercury's heading south as well as back, what does that mean? And so looking at, and we can talk about this more as
I'm making a note.
I know, me too, as the Mercury retrograde rolls out, because it won't be over until early October 2nd, I think it is.
Ooh, wow.
So it actually will go back to 24 Virgo. 24 Virgo was where Mercury was on August 21st. So you can kind of look at your calendar and maybe see what might have come up around August 21st. Were you studying? Were you preparing to travel? Was there email or communication that came in, new opportunities, new ideas for business, commerce, partner, business partnerships, any of those kinds of things?
Yeah.
Because those ideas might be something that are cooking throughout this Mercury retrograde.
Worth revisiting, worth kind of just checking your notes on. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So on Friday the 9th, the moon enters Pisces. So we'll be kind of sitting with the great vast ocean of the collective unconscious, which is Pisces. We'll be sitting with Pisces in our emotional nature on Friday. And then also on Friday, which is going to be part of this full moon picture, as the moon enters Pisces, it opposes Venus in Virgo.
Okay.
So this sets us up for this full moon. At the same time, Venus in Virgo is making a quincunx up to Jupiter in Aries.
Yeah.
So Venus quincunx Jupiter is kind of like Venus wants to party, but in Virgo, it might be more of like, let's have drinks and talk about philosophy.
Right. It's not really like get everybody out in the street, block party, 24 hour.
Quite.
Yeah.
It's more like, let's hash out ideas. Let's talk about, let's analytically deduct these, our logical camps where we both sit. And so in this quincunx with Venus in Virgo, wanting to analyze and sort, in making this quincunx to Jupiter that is really about kind of going their own way and pioneering in Aries. So you have this little bit of a disconnect because there's this Venus that wants to sit down and map things out and plan things out and make things all logical and efficient and neat. And then Jupiter's like, well, I've just got to do it my way.
And the moon and Pisces are opposing that. Is that part of the configuration as well?
Yeah, the moon is opposing Venus.
Okay.
So the moon in Pisces is like, I see God. I see God in all of it. And Venus in Virgo is like, all right, let's get the facts on that.
Okay.
What does it look like? Where is it?
Okay.
What is it wearing?
Okay. And Jupiter and Aries is like, well, I think that it's about, is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah. Jupiter in Aries has its own individualized track.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want an invitation to that cocktail party. That could be really fun.
Yeah. It could also manifest as meeting someone, that this could be a person. It could also be a way of being distracted. So, Venus in Virgo is like wanting to get down to business. And then Jupiter in Aries is like, no, let's go over here and be distracted by, what I want to do. So it's a good time to kind of sit with things.
Okay.
Not so much externalizing things.
Okay. All right.
So the full moon on Saturday, the 10th, is kind of a knockout because this sets us up.
Okay.
This sets us up, this moon opposing Venus. So the biggest aspects of this full moon are the moon is at 17 Virgo, opposite the sun at 17 Pisces.
Okay.
The sun is at 17 Virgo. The moon is at 17 Pisces, conjunct Neptune. Okay. So the sun is opposite Neptune, but the moon is conjunct Neptune. Now this is a wide conjunction. Neptune in Pisces, the moon conjunct Neptune. This makes things incredibly hard to grasp. The moon conjunct Neptune is really about things that are nebulous. They're emotionally sensitive, they're idealistic, they're ethereal, they're imaginative, they're spiritual, they're fantasies.
Okay.
So there's this element of this full moon where the moon is completely immersed in the psychic, in the fantastic, in the fantasy, in the world of the imagination.
Okay.
And then the sun is wanting to be very practical.
Okay. Yep.
That's the polarity.
Okay.
Also, at the time of this full moon, you have both the sun and the moon squaring Mars in Gemini.
Yeah.
So this Mars in Gemini has a rash quality to it. It has a quick temper. It likes to do verbal dares and double dares,
okay.
And it has this stamina. So if you begin a conversation that turns to an argument, know that you are not going to win this. This is going to be with this Mercury ruled lunation. Okay. Because I'm saying Mercury ruled because the sun is in Virgo, ruled by Mercury.
Yes.
Squaring Mars in Gemini, ruled by Mercury.
Yep.
And then moon in Pisces, ruled by Jupiter, which is in Aries, which is ruled by Mars. Oh. So they have this kind of triangulation going on.
I see what you're saying.
That's kind of punchy.
Yep.
Mars in Gemini is verbally sparring.
Okay.
The best use of this energy would be to be internal with it and to write.
Okay.
Or to record.
Versus get on a soapbox and start screaming. Okay.
Exactly. Which is ironic because I just have to say this. Okay. The Pisces moon, is at 18 degrees Pisces, the Pisces full moon. And the Sabian symbol from my favorite book, An Astrological Mandala by Dane Rudhyar, is this visual image for this particular degree is in a gigantic tent. Villagers witness a spectacular performance.
Oh my.
The collective appeal of a well-staged and exciting display of skill or oratory.
Ooh.
So it could be that there is a statement that has to be made. It may be something that comes as a surprise that takes people quite off their, moves them quite off their rocker or off of their space, and that there is some debate that is started.
Yeah.
But, with all of this Pisces energy and with Neptune there, you can also take the internal. You can internally go with the imaginative aspect of this as well.
Awesome. Okay, then.
It's a loaded full moon. The sun is also trying the North Node, and the moon is sextile the North Node in Taurus, and also Uranus. So there again is this surprise element potentially that will move us. That will move us kind of off our base.
Yes.
North Node, just to watch for that.
Right. So if we find ourselves getting into sort of verbal fisticuffs, we can step back and maybe go journal about it and not do a crazy email exchange.
Exactly. And you had the Three of Cups.
Yes, today the Three of Cups joyfully jumped out of the deck, which is these three figures in a little circle raising their cups up, which made me think of the cocktail party, Venus and Virgo getting together and having a bit of a, here's my idea, let's get together and share, and what's in your cup, this is what's in my cup. So that's just it's a joyful, I think, convivial energy. So we can think about maybe where we can tap into that this week.
And I love it that there's like pumpkins and the harvest of the grapes is, around them.
Yeah.
The gourds with the hollow inner, and then the grapes that can be made into wine, and they're dancing.
Yeah, they're dancing in this beautiful circle.
Yeah, so movement would be another good expression. Like the moving of the body.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Would be another great expression of getting out any excess energy.
Get a little expression through movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Oh my God, thank you.
What a great way to wrap up season 1, episode 52. We are now going to be every Monday night at 7 p.m. on WMPG.org at 7 p.m. Eastern live astrology call-in show. So check that out. Call in with your questions. Send us an email at connect@SisterStargazers.com if you've got your questions. We love hearing from you and appreciate the support. Have an awesome week. We'll see you in season 2.
Yeah, and we might even do like a free giveaway for our anniversary. Yes.
Okay.
That would be awesome. So listen on WMPG. We'll give you guys some options to get a reading.
Ooh, that would be lovely. Yeah. Well, thanks, Jude.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah.
Here's a wonderful full moon week.
Yeah, you too. And to everybody out there as well.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Sister Stargazers. Let us know what worked for you this week. Find us on Facebook and post a comment at Sister Stargazers.